Alrighty, Judge, we will be starting on page 1. City of Henderson versus Aaron Argus, 25 CR 007600 7598 7601 and 7602.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
This is the time set for the bail hearing on your charges of petty larceny, resisting a public officer, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of a drug not to be introduced in interstate commerce. I will note for the record that prior to the hearing, I did review the declaration of arrest for probable cause purposes. I do find there was probable cause for the arrest. We'll proceed now with the bail hearing. Hearing first from Ms. Heverin with arguments for the city.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
You're a little faint.
Okay, here, let me see if I can turn it up.
That's better.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, this defendant has a history of criminal activity, not only in Nevada, but also in California, Arizona, and Washington. All seem to be relatively recent. The California case says he has a DUI from 2020. As of Nevada, the most recent case was from this year for a trespass. I understand that this case doesn't involve a lot of items that were stolen from Walmart. However, he did attempt to flee the officers, and he was found with methamphetamine on his person. The city would request standard bail. Also, with the conditions of release, we request an abstain all, no further arrests or citations, and stay away from Walmart at 300 Lakeview Parkway.
Jeez, not the Walmart. Hey, what up?
Thank you.
Becca?
Ms. Purser.
Yes, Your Honor. So he's indicated to me that he has no failures to appear. He has ties to the community, self-employed, asking and is indigent at this time, asking for reduced bail, if not an OR.
And Ms. Purser, did you specify what the ties were?
He's been in the community for 3 years.
The one.
Here.
What up, Catherine? All right.
Your Honor,
All right,
What up,
sir.
Rhea?
Is there something you wanted to say today?
just if there's any way to get OR for a few days, I'd love to get some things tied up for,
Ain't nobody gotta let you
court, and
out.
if I'm gonna go to Arizona or whatever, that sounds like it might take some time, so I'd love to get some things squared away for the next couple of days. And I have no failures to appear on purpose. I attend my court dates, and we'll be right back on whatever Monday or whatever day it would be.
Right.
I missed what you said about Arizona, sir.
There's an extradition to Arizona that is pending there that I may be going through with. And so could take some time, and I just would love to have it a couple of days before I head down there to square things up here.
Is that a warrant you're talking about out of Arizona?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Ms.
your
Heverin, are
comments.
you aware of the warrant?
We were not aware of that warrant, Your Honor.
It was on there, and they asked if I wanted to waive it this morning, and I said yes, and I didn't even know I had the option of doing that.
What up, Kelsey? What up, Watch? Okay.
Yes, Judge, he's currently in, he has a Henderson Justice Court charge, arrested fugitive from another state with an old hold. I believe that might be in case they're, okay.
Yeah, it's on my paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, given that hold and the out-of-state history, I am finding that there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means, both to secure your presence in future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. And so I'm going to require bail. It is going to be standard bail, cash or bondable on each of the 4 charges. And I'm going to impose conditions of release, sir. So there are 3 of them. The first is to abstain, meaning no use or possession of alcohol and all controlled substances. That does include marijuana unless you have a valid medical marijuana card. The second is to stay away from the Walmart on Lake Mead Parkway in the city of Henderson. And the third is to have no further arrests or citations. Yes, sir, we will see you for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Return court date will be October
There's no
27,
warm-up for that
2025 at 3 p.m. Department 2. Page 2. City of Henderson versus Sean Belding, 25 CR 00760976608.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon, Your Honor.
This is the time set for the bail hearing on your charges of possessing a drug not to be introduced in interstate commerce, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. I do note for the record that prior to the hearing, I did review the declaration of arrest for probable cause purposes. I do find there was probable cause for the arrest. We'll proceed now with the bail hearing. Hearing
Damn it,
first from Ms.
Mimi.
Heverin, making arguments for the city.
Your Honor, the city does have some concerns with this defendant as criminal history, including possession of controlled substances and possession of paraphernalia, as is the same as this case. In this case, in particular, his mother actually called the police when he was smoking fentanyl on her back porch.
Back porch?
It does appear she does have the same
What about
concerns
Turo?
that he does have a long history of drug issues. He does have multiple FTAs. But his most, however, his most recent one was, for what I can find, in 2017. The city would request standard bail cash only,
Jelly.
given that his long history of possession of controlled substances and possession of marijuana. We'd also request conditions of release, including abstain all and no further arrest or citations.
Thank you. Ms. Purser.
Yes, Your Honor. So after speaking with him, he doesn't believe he has any failures to appear. That's what he indicated to me. But he does have ties to the community, grew up here 35 years. He is asking for a reasonable bail to be set at this time.
Oh, girls.
All right, sir, and I see that you were
Damn it, you said
just
it.
sentenced on a DUI case in this court
Yes.
just less than 2 weeks ago, which
Yes,
is
sir.
of concern. That in addition to the pretrial risk assessment, which lists a score of 2 for substance use in the past 10 years for prior multiple arrests for drug use or possession
Yes.
or alcohol within the last 10 years. Is there something you wanted to say, sir?
Never mind, it's pointless. Go ahead.
All right. So given that, sir, I'm finding that there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means, both to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. And so I'm going to require bail. It's going to be standard bail, cash or bond. And there are conditions of release, 2 of them. The first is to abstain from alcohol and all controlled substances. That does include marijuana unless you have a valid medical marijuana card. The second is to have no further arrests or citations. And we will see you for your arraignment on Monday, sir. Did you have a question?
Just, yeah, I don't have the means to make bail, and I haven't had a failure to appear in 8 years. I haven't lived here my entire life. I know I do have other cases, but you can see I have appeared. I don't have the means to make bail. I was hoping, given I've lived here my entire life and I haven't missed any court dates in 8 years, that I could possibly be released on my own reconnaissance. I know it does sound graphic, the nature of the charges, but I understand that my mom is trying to help me, and have this be a wake-up call for me. And if there's any way I could have an own reconnaissance, my children have sporting events this weekend, and I just would appreciate your consideration.
Unfortunately, sir, I'm going to deny that request, given the history, okay? So we'll see you on Monday for your arraignment.
That return court date will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 3.
A lot of times they don't give bond if they're already on probation.
Page
Or they have
3.
failure
City
to
of
appear. Say
Henderson
thank you for that.
versus
Hey, what up,
Joseph
Patrick?
Fossey, 25 CR 007572 7570 7571.
Good afternoon, sir.
No, sir.
This is the time set for the bail hearing on your charges of petty larceny, trespass, and making a false statement to or obstructing a public officer. We're going to hear first from Ms. Heverin making arguments for the city.
Thank you, Your Honor. This defendant scores an 8 on his NPR, which is high. The city has concerns given his long criminal history that also includes here in Nevada and also in Texas. His Texas criminal history includes several felonies, including unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and assault on a family member.
What a
That was
car.
as recent as 2022.
Jennifer, thank you.
The
I'm not
city's
sure what
also
NPR
concerned
is.
with
Oh, now?
his most recent history here.
NPR,
He's also had
non-protective
a
or
felony
no?
arrest here in Nevada for a fugitive from another state. I'm assuming that's from his Texas cases. He also has a failure to appear for a petty larceny from 2024. That also causes the city quite some concern. In this case, he was at a Walmart. He refused to identify himself, and the amount that wasn't charges was approximately $58. The city would request standard bail cash only, with conditions of release of a stay away up from the Walmart at 300 Lake Mead Parkway, and no further arrest or citations.
Thank you. Ms. Person?
Probably record.
Yes,
Grace,
Your Honor,
thank
so
you
we
for
do
the follow.
have some updates in that he is currently employed at TCF Timeshare. He is not transient. The report shows that he's transient. He is not transient. He's provided me with an address of 714 Water Street. And he's been living there for a year and a half paying rent. And he also provided me with a cell phone. So I believe that brings the risk assessment to a 4, which is on the low side. So we're asking for a reasonable bail to be set, if not a 4 at this time.
Thank you.
That's
All
correct,
right,
sponsor
sir.
them.
Based on that history and the recent
I
history
didn't,
out of
just
Texas,
the girl not.
combined with what appear to be lack of ties to this community and your history here, it apparently includes another petty larceny case and failing to appear. I'm finding that there is clear convincing evidence.
Hey, thank you.
Can I
for
say
that.
Something,
Trial risk.
is there
Oh,
something
thank
you want
for
to say,
that.
sir?
Yeah, yes, sir. That Texas case, I was on probation and they revoked my probation because I paid my fees 2 weeks too late.
2 weeks.
And that's why they revoked my probation, and that's why I had a warrant out of Texas for paying my fees 2 weeks too late.
Okay.
Why?
All right, sir. And so I'm finding that there is clear and convincing evidence the bail is the least restrictive means both to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. So I'm going to require bail. It's going to be standard bail, but cash only. So $640 on each of the 3 cases with conditions of release. There are 2. The first is to stay away from the Walmart on Lake Mead Parkway in the city of Henderson. The second is to have no further arrests or citations. And we will see you back for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
That return court date will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 3. Page 4, City of Henderson versus Shawnee Buford, 25 CR 007573.
Mustache twins.
She requested to go back to the cell.
So Your Honor, if we can continue this bail hearing with her arraignment on Monday.
I do find her absence is good cause to continue the bail hearing to Monday.
That return court date will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 1. Bail stands. Page 5,
Gotta
City of
click the
Henderson
mustache on
versus
my
Kiara Cosby, 25 CR 007605.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
nose. Are they in chains? Are they in handcuffs?
This is the time set for the bail hearing on your
Never seen that
charge
before.
of battery constituting domestic violence, first offense.
Domestic
We're going to begin
violence?
the hearing with arguments first from the prosecution. Ms.
wow.
Hebron.
Thank you, Your Honor. This defendant has scored a 5 on the NPR, which I understand is moderate. However, the city does have several concerns,
They're mixed with
including
men?
she has appears to the police report
Teddy
has
bit.
several out-of-state warrants for violent
Toxic
crimes.
user.
She, looking at her criminal history, she does have serious violent crimes, not only in California, Ohio, and also Pennsylvania.
Damn, she gets around. I've never been to
Therefore,
Pennsylvania before.
there's another battery constituting domestic violence, another what would be considered in our case another position of violent crime. We would request standard bail cash only, with conditions of release for no contact with the victim, who is John Dickey, Dickey, and no further arrest or citations.
Hey, Ms. Hebron, did I hear you correctly? Did you say there were active warrants currently in connection to those out-of-state charges?
Hey, thank you, Tasha.
Looking at the, let me see, I apologize, Your Honor, court's indulgence.
Is that a wig? Does she have a wig on? That's a wig, huh? That has to be a wig. Can you please? Shh. Come on, you already know. Yeah, that's not a good wig either. She might as well just put one of these mustaches I got in my head. My mustache.
Yes, Your Honor, according to
My
the
mustache
police
is crooked
report,
as her.
it
her
states,
wig.
the check also showed that Kira had several out-of-state warrants for violent crimes. However, these warrants were listed as non-extradictable.
And Ms. Heverin, do you have any more specific information about the charges out of state, what the specific charge was or the time frame?
I don't, Your Honor. I'm looking at, I was able to look at her history in California. She does have a 22 conviction for battery. As of in Ohio, she has a 2022 conviction for assault. In Pennsylvania, she has, it looks like in 2022, she had a criminal trespass and criminal mischief case. And in 2023, she had simple assault and harassment case. I'm not sure if those have anything to do with the warrants that are currently there, but that's the only information I have at this time.
Thank you. That's helpful. Ms. Purser.
Your Honor, we also have some updates in that she did provide me with a cell phone, and that she is self-employed. She's a hairstylist, so
What up,
I
Bruce?
believe that risk assessment should go down at least by 2 points. So she's asking for an OR at this time, if not a reasonable bail to be set.
Who's falling asleep? I don't see anybody that looks like.
And ma'am, how long have you lived in the Clark County area?
She's a hairdresser.
I've
with
been here
that wig.
since May, so I've been here for about a year and a half.
Okay. All right, so ma'am, given that history, at least of arrests that have the basis in violence, multiple states recently, and what appears to be a lack of ties to this community, I'm finding that there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means, both to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community and the named victim in this particular case. And so I'm going to require bail. It's going to be $3,000 cash or bond. With conditions of release, there are two. The first is to have no contact with the named victim, and that means no contact whatsoever. Do you have any questions about that order, ma'am?
Don't commit crimes.
Is that an OR or?
No, bail's going to be required, but I'm asking you about the order to have no contact. Do you have any questions about that?
I don't have any questions about that
Okay.
at all.
I need to admonish you, ma'am, that any violation of the no contact order may result in a new misdemeanor charge, modification or addition of a new condition of release, revocation of bail, and remand to custody, or the imposition of any other penalty prescribed by law. The second condition of release is to have no further arrests or citations, and we will see you for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
That return court date will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 1. Page 6. City of Henderson versus Cameron Chrisman, 25 CR 007582 7584.
Your Honor, they refused to come to court asking to continue this bail hearing with their arraignment on Monday.
Thank you. I do find his absence a good cause to continue the bail hearing
Hey,
tomorrow.
Henderson would
That
be
return
one
court date
place
will be
I would
October
not want to be
27,
in jail.
2025 1:30 p.m. Department 1. Bail stands.
Jelly, I need a taco.
Page 7. City of Henderson versus Sigourney Douglas, 25 CR 007560.
Your Honor, they refused to come to this bail hearing asking.
People my color shouldn't be in
Henderson.
Henderson.
Thank you. I
If
do
you're brown like
find
me, stay out of Henderson.
the defendant's absence is good cause to continue the arraignment to Monday.
That return court
Okay,
date will be
miss.
October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 1. Bail stands.
If you ever visit Las
Page
Vegas,
8. City of Henderson versus Scott Frisbee, 25 CR 007620.
Your Honor,
Look.
he refused to come to this bail hearing, asked to continue.
if you ever
until
visit Las
Monday with
Vegas
his arraignment.
and somebody tells you, hey,
Thank
let's
you.
go to
I do find his
Henderson.
absence is good cause to
you're
continue
not-
the bail hearing to Monday. I note that Probable
look like
cause
me,
review is still needed, and so they'll
brown,
just send that to me too.
or anything
Dr.
that's not
Johnson,
white,
yes, Judge.
stay out of Henderson.
All right, this is continued to October 27, 2025 at 1:30 PM, Department 1, bail stands. Page 9, City of Henderson versus Antoine Gordon, 25 CR 007575.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is the time set for the bail hearing in charge of petty larceny. We're going to begin first with arguments from the prosecution. Ms. Everett.
Thank you, Your Honor. This defendant scored a 10 on his NPR, which is labeled as high. He does have a lot of recent criminal history, some as recent as 2024 for battery and resisting. He also had another battery in 2020 and another domestic battery and resisting in 2018. He also has a lot of very old violent history from California, which causes some concern. Most recent FTA we were able to locate was for a battery in 2024. We understand in this case it was local Walmart, and it was a very minimal amount. However, given his history and the fact that he does have a recent FTA, the city would request standard bail cash only. Conditions of release of the stay away from the Walmart at 300 East Lake Mead Parkway and no further arrest or citations.
Thank you. Ms. Purser.
Yes, Your Honor. There was an update to the risk assessment that he did provide me with a cell phone number.
Clark County.
He is indigent, so he is asking for a reasonable bail to be set.
Thank you. Mr. Gordon, with that
Cody.
high risk score on the pretrial risk assessment and the history that was noted by the prosecution, including failure to appear last year, I am finding that there is clear and convincing evidence
Who
that
said
bail
he's
is the
a
least
Timu
restrictive
Snoop
means
Dogg?
to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. So I'm going to require bail. It's going to be $640 cash or bond with the conditions of release that were requested. So there are two. The first is I'm ordering that you stay away from the Walmart on Lake Mead Parkway in the city of Henderson. The second is that you have no further arrests or citations. Any questions about those conditions of release, sir?
No, sir, I'm cool with it.
Okay, we'll see you for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
All right.
Court will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 PM, Department 3.
Vicky, no way. You saw Superman get arrested?
Page 10, City of Henderson versus Harry Jackson, 25 CR 0076037606.
Your Honor, he refused to come to the bail hearing today, asking to continue with his arraignment on Monday.
Thank you, and I do find his absence is good cause to continue the bail hearing to Monday.
This is continued to October 27, 2025 at 3 PM, Department 2, bail stands. Page 11, City of Henderson versus Philip Leddit, 25 CR 007604.
Your Honor, he refused to come to this bail hearing, asking to continue this with his arraignment on Monday.
Thank you, I do find his absence is good cause to continue the bail hearing to Monday.
Continue to October 27, 2025 at 1:30 PM, Department 3, bail stands. Page 12, City of Henderson versus Daniel Melcher, 25 CR 007618.
Your Honor, he refused to come to this bail hearing, asking
nobody
to
wants to
continue
come to
this
court.
with his arraignment on Monday.
Thank you, and Ms. Hebron, is this one the city's going to request time on?
It is, Your Honor.
And how much time was the city requesting?
The city request 16 weeks.
I'm assuming they're
I couldn't quite
they're-
hear that. I'm
they're
sorry. How many
refusing
weeks?
it because they
I
know they're not
apologize,
going to go
16
home.
weeks, Your Honor.
16, thank you. All right, and so the defendant will be released on his own recognizance with a status check on complaint filing scheduled for 16 weeks.
That lady
That return
put
court
up
date will be
Kevin.
January 26, 2026 at 9 AM, Department 1.
Luke, yeah, that is correct, Luke. Hey, so one
Page
thing I've learned,
13, City of Henderson versus Brody Saba, 25 CR
Brody?
007580.
He's gone.
Officer, did he go back to, oh, there
Hey, why is that guy in stripes? Why is he in white
Good
and
afternoon,
red
sir.
stripes?
How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. This is the time set for the bail hearing on your charge of petty larceny.
Yeah.
And before we begin that hearing, I'm going to note for the record that prior to the hearing, I did review the declaration of arrest for probable cause for the arrest. We'll proceed now.
If you give me a real cabezazo.
Give you a cabezazo.
Now with the bail hearing, proceed now with the bail hearing. First, hear from Ms. Heverin, arguments for the prosecution.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't believe he has a history of criminal activity here in Nevada. However, in California, we were able to see he does have extensive violent history, including as recent as this year. He does have a battery on a person's, as well as 2 violations of parole from 2020 and 2019, and a sexual battery as of 2018.
What?
That does cause the city some concern.
Ah, wow.
So with this case, it was at a Walmart, and given that the amount of stolen merchandise that was recovered, I believe, was $341.72, the city does believe that the standard bail cash only is appropriate along with conditions of release of stay away from Walmart at 540 Mark Street and no further arrest or citations in this case.
Ms. Heverin, was the most recent history out of California the 2020 case that you referenced, or was there something more recent?
There was something more recent. It was 2025. So as of this year, he had a battery on a person's.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Purser.
Speaking with him, he doesn't believe he has any failures to appear. He did provide me with an address here that he's been living at for over a year. He
Jeremy, thank
is
you.
currently on disability and did provide me with his cell phone number. So he is asking for a reasonable bail to be set in an OR at this time.
Thank you. And sir, with that high score on the pretrial risk assessment, as well as the history out of California, very recent history, combined with what appear to be lack of ties to this community, I am finding that there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means, both to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. I am going to require bail. It will be $640 cash with the conditions of release that were requested. So there are 2. The first is that you stay away from the Walmart on Mark Street in the city of Henderson. The second is that you have no further arrests or citations. And so, sir, we're going to see you back for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
Now, the court date will be October 27, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 3.
Hey, if I haven't learned
Page
anything from
14.
today is
City of
that don't
Henderson
shoplift
versus
at Walmart.
Michael Shaghalian, 25 CR 0075897591.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
This is the time
Jazz?
set for the bail hearing on your charges of battery and assault. And we're going to hear first from Ms. Heverin, arguments for this.
Thank you, Your Honor. This defendant has scored a 13 on his NPR. He does have 3 felonies listed there, and also he has 2 pending open cases as of this time. I do not know what those cases entail at this moment. He does have a total of 71 arrests here in Nevada. And his most recent FTA was as of September 12th of 2025. Given that the case is for a battery and assault and the victim had reached out and expressed concerns and would like a no
71
contact order, the
arrests?
city would request standard bail cash only. And the conditions of release no contact with the victim,
I gotta
who is
have to
Kareem
cut that.
Nassar, Karim Nassar, a stay away order from the M Resort, and no further arrest or citations.
The M Resort? Not the M Resort. Come on, guy.
Thank you. Ms. Purser.
Your Honor, there's no updates to the risk assessment on our
This
end,
cut
but
did
he is
Jesus.
indigent, so asking for
Richard.
reasonable bail to be set.
Thank you. All right, so with that high score on the pretrial risk assessment, the pending pretrial cases, and you had a score of 2
Backup
for
dancers.
prior violent crime convictions in the last 10 years for having 2 or more convictions, as well as a score of 2 for failures to appear in the last 24 months for having 2 or more in the last 24 months. I am finding, sir, that there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means, both to secure your presence at future court dates as well as for the safety of the community. And so I'm going to require bail.
KC,
It's
what's
going to
up?
be $640 cash on each charge with the conditions of release that were requested. So, sir, there are 3 of them. The first is that you have no contact with the named victim, and that does mean no contact whatsoever. Do you have any questions about that, sir?
No, sir.
All right, I need to admonish you that any violation of the no contact order may result in a new misdemeanor charge, modification or addition of a new condition of release, revocation of bail and remand to custody, or the imposition of any other penalty prescribed by law. The second condition of release is that you stay away from the
El Taco.
M Resort in the
Gracias.
city of Henderson. The third is that you have no further arrests or citations. And we will see you for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
Thank you.
That return court date will be October 27, 2025 at 3 p.m. Department 2.
Hey, you know what? The 71 address, maybe he's taking like a tour around the country and he's
Page
checking out all the
15,
local.
City of Henderson versus Carol Smart, 25 CR 007569.
He's checking out all the local county jails, if you will. And this is Nevada. For everybody that keeps on asking, Nevada, Henderson, Nevada. And yes, this is
Good
live.
afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you, Mike.
This is the time set for the bail hearing on your charge of trespass. We're going to begin the hearing first from Ms. Heverin with the city.
Your Honor, will submit to this defendant. I would
happy.
request, we would want conditions of release of a stay
Martha
away
Stewart.
from my
Emu
place
Martha
hotel,
Stewart.
which is located at 3344 St. Rose Parkway, and no further arrest or citations.
What was the name of the hotel?
My Place Hotel.
My Place
Thank you.
Hotel. Never heard of it. Has anybody
Ms.
heard
Purser,
of
anything to add?
My Place?
No, there just was, update. She did have a house and she is self-employed.
I want to know
She's
what this
out.
guy's here for.
All right, thank you.
What do you guys think this
So,
is?
Ms. Smart, I am going to release you on your own recognizance.
Release?
However, I am going to order conditions of release. There are 2. The first is that you stay away from the My Place Hotel
No, you
on
don't
St.
work at
Rose
My
Parkway
Place.
in the city of Henderson. The second is that you have no further arrests or citations. And
Yeah,
Ms.
the
Smart,
chain,
do you have any
okay.
questions about those conditions of release?
Well, I do have one question. My clothes and my suitcase and my clothes are at the My Place Hotel.
Okay, so if you have property there, what you can do is you can contact the Henderson Police Department and request a civil standby. That would be a one-time opportunity for you to gather your belongings without violating the order, but it does require you to go when the police department can be there before you. So do not go there until you receive information that the police department is there and waiting for you.
Hey,
Any
does
questions
anybody,
about that?
does anybody live near this place?
Okay, we'll see you
Can,
for your
can we
arraignment
get
on
boots
Monday,
on the
okay?
ground here? We need a live update.
That return
when she
court date
shows
is
up.
October
Can we get an
27,
interview?
2025 at 1:30 p.m. Department 1. Page 16.
Anybody in Henderson?
City
Care
of
to go to
Henderson
My
versus-
Place Hotel, if you will. What up, Shannon? I'll
Page
go there.
16, City of Henderson
Biggest
versus
goal.
Broderick Travis, 25 CR 007587.
Good afternoon, sir.
Evening, Your Honor.
This is the time set for the bail hearing on the charge of petty larceny. We're going to hear first from Ms. Heverin making arguments for the city.
Oh, they're going to stick it to this.
Your Honor, this defendant scored a 7 on his NPR. His
7.
criminal history mostly is filled with just mostly traffic violations. He does have an FTA as of 2023 for one of those traffic violations. This case involves a
Piper,
petty
that'll
larceny at a Walmart for $47 worth of merchandise. The city would just request standard bail with conditions of release of stay away from Walmart at 300 East Lake Mead Parkway and no further arrest or citation.
East Lake, man. Hey, all I know is that
This
Walmart
person.
in Vegas, if
Yeah,
you want to go
he
to
did
jail,
provide
go to
me
Walmart
with,
in Vegas
cell phone,
or Henderson.
and he is self-employed as a mechanic. Also, the pending case in the municipal court is a traffic ticket,
Catching
so
like fuck.
he's asking for an OR at this time.
All right, and Mr. Travis, is there anything that you wanted to say today?
I also wanted to include that I do now have a place to live. I'm a single father taking care of my daughter now.
Okay.
Hey, I don't think the
All right,
single
thank you,
seats
sir.
count.
Yeah, and sir, given the failure
Hey,
to
does
appear
anybody
warrant that
watching
you were
in here
arrested on in connection with this case out
live,
of this
currently
court,
staying at a
I
single
am going to
suite?
find there is clear and convincing evidence that bail is the least restrictive means to secure your presence at future court dates. And so I'm going to require bail. It'll be $640 cash or bond. With conditions of release, there are two. The first is that you stay away from the Walmart, Lakeview Parkway in the city of Henderson. And the second is that you have no further arrests or citations. So we will see for your arraignment on Monday, okay?
Yes, sir.
The return court date will be
What did it
October
say up here?
27, 2025
In blue.
at 1:30 p.m. Department 3. This includes bail hearings off the record.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, counselors.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too.
Damn it, eh? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Man, talk about wild. Hey, okay, so look, you ever visit Las Vegas, specifically the Henderson area? Don't go shoplifting at Walmart. You seen how many? I think more than half of those cases were shoplifting at Walmart. Don't do it. Don't do it. Go to Target because I didn't see anybody. Does Henderson have any Targets? That's what I want to know. Or is there only Walmarts in Henderson? Because everybody they stay away from the one in East, I think Lake Mead, they said, the one on Water Street. And I think those were the two major ones. So, hey, stay away from them. Okay, then I guess Walmart's Target's the place you want to go to for your 5-finger discounts, if you will. Let me see, James, are you staying on for? Nah, this is only court right now, and I got some other stuff going on, but they only do this court once a week on Saturday, so that's why I jumped on. But I'll be back later on. We'll be back I'll probably be back like at 7. I'll do 7 o'clock. I'll do the 7 o'clock Pima, which is in Arizona, and then we'll do the 8 o'clock Maricopa, if you will. Why'd you turn on my light? Oh, okay. Yeah, plus I got my daughter here. She's drawing right now. She just got a brand new pack of colors and whatnot. So I gotta go ahead and start coloring and whatnot. Hey, if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. It's free. If you're new here, this is what I do here. I live stream court appearances from across the United States, Florida, Arizona, Texas, Washington, and a few other states, if you will. And if you're wondering why everybody puts "if you will," it's because I tend to say that a lot at the end of my sentences. Have a good one, brother. Thank you, Toxic User. Thank you, Red Hat, for that follow. Thank you, Kiki, for that follow. And Chad, thank you for the follow. And Red Dragon, gracias. I'll see you at 7 for sure. And that's 7 Pacific Standard Time, LA time, if you will. Have fun coloring. Will do. Will do. Thank you, guys. Hey, I am Collect Call James. You guys are watching. You have a collect call from. And like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we're out. Ciao! Let me see. Where is is it here? Right here. All right, cool. With that, we're out. Hey, Bruce, if you're on here, man, thank you. Highly appreciate your support. Have a good one.